Welcome back to BeerFormers. This is episode 22.
Wow, it's a lot.
And as of the making of this video, we have 229 subscribers.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I'm looking for once to make sure I'm a little more prepared tonight because, I don't know, I'm a loser sometimes. So, but welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for subscribing and all that stuff. Make sure you hit all those buttons. You know, if you're new to us now, we appreciate all the things we can get as far as viewership, et cetera, et cetera. We're having a blast doing this, talking about Transformers and talking about adult beverages.
Mm-hmm.
So our last full episode, we've been doing the sips too, by the way. So the sips are a lot of fun. They're just 60 seconds of what I've most recently bought in my collection, followed by Noel drinking something. So,
yeah, it's like peanut butter and jelly.
you have to drink to put up with me, honey.
It's
Yeah,
I do what I got to do.
Yeah. But last time we a couple times ago we did the Autobot Multiforce, which was that group of Autobots that could combine in lots of different ways, right? That was from the cartoon Victory that came out in the late 80s, like 88, I think. And concurrent with that, there was the...
It came out in Japan, right?
In Japan,
yeah.
correct, thank you, yeah. Concurrent with that, there was like, the yin to the Multiforce's yang was the Decepticon group called the Dinoforce.
Okay.
Okay? The Dinoforce is a little bit interesting because they came out in America, but not as a Dinoforce. They were different colors, and they had different accessories, but they still formed the same.
Were they dinosaurs?
No, they weren't.
Oh.
Okay, so let's go back just a little bit. Several episodes ago, we also did one about pretenders.
Yeah.
So the Autobots and Decepticons who hid inside a shell, if you will, that made them not resemble robots anymore.
Which I thought were the lamest things until we did the ones where the guns flipped up.
The most recent episode,
Yeah.
the Trigger Bots and Trigger Count.
Yeah, they were worse. I can't believe I'm actually saying this.
I've got more.
Oh boy,
coming on. It might be you might consider to be your worst one here, but this is not. I hope not. Okay, so the Pretenders line, all right. So toward the end of the Pretenders lines in America, they came out with what they were called the Monster Pretenders, which are all Decepticons. These were Decepticons. Their form, whether it was what they transformed into, for the most part, there's a few exceptions, but their outer form, the Pretender shell, was some sort of monster.
Right.
Right.
That really will get you far on the planet Earth.
Right. So
hide very well.
But at least they won't think you're a robot. It made sense in the comic books, all right?
Okay.
Without getting too much in the weeds, I said a lot.
Okay,
but in the comic books, like, people had figured out the Autobot Decepticon thing, right? So in order to further hide and throw the scent off their trail, they did the Pretender thing with people like, oh, you know, they're like a bunch of people going, oh, the robots get them, so here would be a Decepticon. Oh, it's clearly not a robot because it looks like it's some sort of alien or monster.
Why
or
couldn't
like
have just been a tree?
I don't know. Why would you? But I mean, like, think about the movie Big, the building that turns into a robot. Would you play with a tree that turns into a robot?
No,
probably not. That's probably why the Rock Lords didn't do any better either.
There you go. Okay.
But anyway, so I'm trying to get to this point really quickly here, and it's taking this.
Sorry, because I won't shut up.
I'm failing. Anyway, so the Monster Pretenders, their shtick was they were little bitty guys that were a combiner, okay, and their combiner form was called Monstructor. We'll do them probably maybe the next episode one at that. But their outer shells that the robots hid inside were rubberized.
Oh, like those little erasers that we used to
but a little higher quality rubber than that, you know, but they still fit inside. They're still a Pretender. So whatever reason, when the set got imported or was released in Japan, they changed that whole dynamic, all right? They kept the robots as they were. They recolored them, though. So, you know, the American Monstructor set and the Dinoforce set that we're about to see in a second, all the toys had different colors. But instead of, like, the monster forms that they got in America, their Pretender shells were all, like, robotic cyborg dinosaurs. And in the cartoon, they would usually they would either be inside their shell all the time, or they would be in their robot form. You never saw them transform into their monster. They didn't transform into vehicles. They turned into, like, creatures. Right. When they transform. In the cartoon, you never saw that.
Okay.
Okay. All you saw was a robot doing its thing. They were inside their dinosaur Pretender shell, or they combined into Dino King.
All right.
That's all you saw. So
the budget didn't allow.
I guess so. So there's some weird kind of things that happen as a result of that. Okay. We're just gonna start bringing them out one by one. All right. And so what makes this a little bit odd in some ways is that, you know, I'm just gonna show them separately. So first off, we have like a T-Rex.
Looks like Godzilla.
Like a Godzilla. It's got like all these robotic parts, stuff like that. They had a spot for the parts. You were asking about that last time we did a combiner. Where did all the parts go?
Yeah.
Well, the parts for the large form actually had a place on the Pretender shell.
Oh, okay.
So like this is a foot pad.
Okay.
And the transformer who went inside of this is this little bitty guy here.
Oh.
Okay. And he is the leader of the group.
Oh yeah. What's
Now,
his name?
Well, they only had Japanese names. And they all meant something in Japanese.
It's gonna come apart, right?
Yeah, just pull the foot pad off for us. It might be lazy. That just like pops off like as a shell, revealing a cavity on the inside, so this guy can go inside here.
Okay.
Can you get it?
I don't know. It seems to be stuck on. Oh, I got it. Yes.
So anyway, in Japan, they had a Japanese name. It wasn't like a clever, like play of words or something like that. It was straight up Japanese.
Okay.
And his name was Goryu.
Cool,
which loosely translates into like big dragon or big dinosaur. Okay, so when I first got this set, like a couple decades ago, we've touched this several times. Goryu probably wouldn't have sold here in America back in the 80s and 90s. We've come around that now. There's like Transformers books out there that talk about the different names people, and they're straight up using the Japanese names now. So it's not as big a deal. But in my head canon, I gave all these guys what I would consider probably names that might have sold here in America if I was working at Hasbro back in the day, right? And so because these guys all turned into dinosaurs, I use not anagrams, but like words that had like similar meanings to the Dinobots, which we haven't talked about at all. The Dinobots are the Autobots who turned into dinosaurs.
Everybody's gonna know what those are.
Yeah. So because Goryu transforms into the shell that's a T-Rex.
Yes.
Okay, I did a play off the word of Grimlock.
Okay.
Okay, so his quote unquote American name
Rock
to
Grim.
me is Dreadbolt.
Oh, okay.
Like Grim, Lock, Dreadbolt. Okay.
Oh, I want to try to guess what your names
so
are.
you try to transform. They're monsters. So the transformations are really, the gun comes off, and it's even got a spot for the gun on here on the back of the shell.
That was my first question. Where does the gun go?
So we can go in that little hole there.
Okay.
So to transform, you just literally fold his head down.
Like that?
And bend his legs back.
Even though...
That's it.
Oh, really?
He's transformed now. He's some sort of monster. It's a nebulous, right? That's it.
Scary.
That's it. So to make him go in the Pretender shell, I think you just hold him like this, and it's been a long time since I put these in the Pretender shell, so I can't remember exactly. Maybe you have to go.
Looks like the arms peel back.
They do, but that's more for the Dino King form.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure he just kind of goes in here.
That looks like he's gonna fit.
Like
that looks good.
Yeah, I think it's just basically goes
Except
in.
his feet are sticking out.
Well, but if you look in the hole, there's like a space for it.
Okay.
So it just snaps on. Boom, done. And then you put the foot pad back on the back. All right, so let's get through these a little faster here now, right? So I've done the setup now, right? And the foot pad might not. Yeah, go like that. You go. These little holes. Yeah, line up with those holes there. Exactly. Boom. Dreadbolt or Goryu. Next up is Kakuryu. He transforms into kind of a Triceratops. What do you notice is weird about this one when I hold him up?
He's fat.
He's fat. And look at the horns. They're in a single row.
Yeah, instead of triangle.
Boom. Yeah. So he's kind of a weird Triceratops. On his Pretender shell, he's got the giant robot's gun and the head for it, and that will also pull up. And this forms the torso of the giant robot. And so here's Kakuryu, or what do you think I might call this one? So he's an anagram for snarl, for slag, I should say.
Okay, so his name is Slug.
Okay, that's interesting you chose that, because that is the official name for slag nowadays, because they figured out that in England, a slag is a prostitute.
Yeah.
so all versions of slag now are slug. But no, I didn't pick slug. I mean, he's slag. He's hot. He's something hot, right? So I chose the word.
Okay, magma.
Close. I did ember instead.
Ooh, oh, that's
Ember.
cute. Although that also sounds like a prostitute.
An ember?
Ember.
Okay, so the gun comes out now, and again, the gun goes in this little slot here.
Okay, so then... All right. Okay.
Yeah, and then to transform that one, you just you fold the head down, and then bend the legs up again. The arms stay where they are, and they face it. Nope, you're bending the body now.
Okay.
Just bend the legs up. Boom,
okay,
that's it.
And then I just got to get him back in here.
Yeah, so let's hold him up so everybody can see him real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he's got a
Scary
little
monster.
His chest becomes the monster's head.
There.
Yeah. So he just fits down inside there too, I believe, just like that. Yeah, because these little spots here.
Yeah,
Oops.
there goes his gun.
Allow him to be able to do that.
Better get that before our dog eats it.
Yes, that's true. All right, so that's Ember.
All right.
Next up is the Stegosaurus. Okay, and this is pretty straightforward. Nice Stegosaurus here. The Autobot or Dinobot equivalent for the Stegosaurus was Snarl.
All right, so his name is Snort.
Snort. I like it. You've got the head here. The head fits in the back. They're
okay.
just going to keep it in place there.
Okay.
Not Snort. Snarl, I picked the word Grumble.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Okay. I'll give it to you.
So here's Grumble. Grumble transforms the exact same way as Dreadbolt or Goryu. Can you get that one off or no?
Gonna try. Got it.
They have the exact same transformation scheme, but he's more of like a wolf creature when he transforms. He's got like a little wolf head there hidden on and stuff.
And look, gun goes there. I'm learning. Here goes the head. Yep. Oh yeah, it does. It is a wolf. This actually does look like a monster.
You gotta flip the legs back in.
Well, I will, but I'm
showing it to the screen. I'll put it up on the screen like I do too.
This actually does look like a monster.
Yeah. It's a little bitty. They're almost Micromasters, but they're just a little bit large compared to other Micromasters and stuff. Let's see.
He's not fitting.
I think you got to fit his arms forward like that to make him go down inside the hole. Let's see.
There's just sort of messing around until you figure it out.
It's just things just like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, while you finish that, we'll move ahead here to the Apatosaurus, formerly the Brontosaurus, if you're as old as me.
And me.
Before they realize their mistake. And I believe Brontosaurus actually is back. They found another dinosaur, which they've given the name to.
Why did they change the name in the first place?
Because they figured out that they had the wrong skull on the wrong body type situation. So the one that was on display, the original Brontosaurus, was a chimera. It was made up of parts that didn't actually belong together.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so his Japanese name is Rairyu. Okay, and so his Dinobot equivalent would be Sludge.
Okay, so you named him Muck.
Exactly. Whoa!
Ah!
Muck!
Ding, 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 ding.
And Muck forms like the lower torso of the super robot. And here he is. Here's his little form here. All right.
Okay.
So this one forms a quadrupedal creature when it transforms. All right. So let's see if you can figure him out. Basically,
the head's probably going to go down again.
No, the head stays fixed on that one, but you fold the monster head back.
Oh, there's a monster head.
Fold back.
Boop.
And then I think you actually bend the whole legs back over like you're doing now, but then you got to bend like the legs, like the animal legs down so it can stand, whatever, as an animal form.
Oh, like sense? This? Are those its animal legs?
Yeah, yep.
All
and those, once you get the main part folded back, those fold down. It's like, exactly, you got it. Yep. So hold him up. So this is Muck. Good guess on that one there. So just kind of a random kind of creature. So again, in the cartoon, they were never seen like this, right? So to get him to fit, you just basically fold the legs up.
Okay.
So
is there more?
Yeah, there's two more.
Okay.
There's a set of 6.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we're kind of getting through here. The next one that had an equivalent is the Pteranodon.
Okay. Oh, he's kind of chunky too.
The Pteranodon
he's a
was
big boy.
Yeah. The Pteranodon was Yokuryu. Yokuryu, I think is how you pronounce that. All right. And again, the Ryu, it can be translated as dinosaur. It can also be translated as dragon, I've heard. So, so it's probably dinosaurs, probably what they meant. And these guys transformed into dinosaurs. But boom. He's like supposed to be like a missile launcher thing. So
was I shooting him in his butt?
You're shooting him in the butt. So it kind of goes like that. All right. So there's that one. This guy forms an arm. So he's got a fist on the back of his shell there. And he transforms into kind of like a winged.
It looks like he's giving us a one-finger salute.
Well, the super robot fist has got like a little gun on the end of it. So this guy transforms into like a little flying creature. So really simplified here, but there he is. So Swoop was the Dinobot name. What are you gonna guess this time?
So Swoop. Oh shoot! I don't know. I'm totally blanking out now.
You got one.
So Swoopy is like you're flying.
You're swooping.
You're
swooping in. What might I have chosen as kind of, I guess, like a cognate, I guess, if you will. You gonna get that part off for you?
Shoot, I'm totally blanking on a word that would also mean swoop. I don't know. Fish.
I picked soar.
Oh, soar, of course, like soaring.
All right, so
you didn't like the word I just made up.
What was it?
Swish. Swish. Swish.
It sounds like Swedish, like bad Swedish.
Swish.
Oh yeah, to go into Swedish.
Swish. It's FWISH. All
right, transform this guy real quick.
Okay.
So for this one, you take the gun out. You just fold that head up. It just covers the little head. The arms stay the arms.
Okay.
So you fold the main part back.
Oh,
then you
I
fold
see
those little
that.
white things down to be his new feet. So
Okay.
they're really simplified transformations, and because they're made
Yeah.
up creatures, they can basically have the transformation be kind of whatever they
The
want.
stickers are really good on these still. Wow,
Yeah.
they're really good. It's amazing.
Thank you. I try to take care of my stuff.
There's this little Decepticon symbol on the back.
All right. So
Soar.
So
Good
soar.
name.
So when this
Good
one goes
name.
in, I think you have the feet up and kind of out of the way, and this one goes. Let's see if I got this right here. I do better with the Monstructor version because I just had it longer overall. I got Monstructor when it came out new in America, and I got these years later as an adult collector. Sounds funny to say that out loud. Adult collector. Like
You collect adults.
I do. Yes, you have to.
Kind of creepy.
So for that one, you had to put the head back down to put it inside the body,
Okay.
but then that should snap over
All
the
right.
outside of it. Like that.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then it's got a space for both those guys. The last one is a totally new dinosaur. Okay, the original Dinobots only had 5, right? They had the T-Rex,
Okay.
the Triceratops, the Brontosaurus, the Apatosaurus, the Stegosaurus, and the Pteranodon. So for this set, there is
Chunky.
an Ankylosaurus. Well, they got to be chunky to hold that guy inside, right?
No, but it's just...
So lastly, we have an
They're
Ankylosaurus.
husky.
Okay, and the Ankylosaurus was Gairayu.
Okay.
Gairayu. But because there's not a Dinobot this one, I just went off the fact that he's got the club for his
Thwack.
thwack.
You named him Thwack.
That's the name of a guy on Bob and Tom. Remember that? Because they had a large something. All right, I went with Flail because he's got like a big club with it.
All right, that's fine.
All right. Thwack. And this one transforms basically the same way as the Brontosaurus.
This one is also
Got the
giving
gun.
us the...
So he transforms basically the
It's
exact
the
same
bird.
way as the Brontosaurus guy,
Okay.
who was in my world Muck,
Yeah.
and this form was Ryu.
All right.
Then once
Those
we get these all
legs.
transformed, we'll show them in Dino King form.
Here we go.
We'll do that together. You gotta fin the whole thing back
Yeah.
just like you did last time. Yep. You
Yep,
got it.
and here we go.
Absolutely.
His legs are toy.
He's got like little wings or something on his back or something like that, right? So yeah. So this is in my world Flail, in the original world, something like that. So to transform him into his mode that'll fit inside again, just like it was for Muck, you just kind of do that, and this should fit on top quite nicely. Boom. Get the idea. All right, close enough now. And then this obviously could fit there. If actually I got that backwards, didn't I? Yeah. Why don't you say something, Noel? Wow.
Just you were having such a good time. I didn't ruin.
Dave, you're
ruin
an
it for you.
idiot. All right. Anyway, so because we're gonna take these right off again in a second anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get them all out of the
Okay,
shells
heavy.
one more time.
Okay.
And so in the show, when they popped out of their shells, the shells were still there. They could control them, and like they were like another, just like the actual regular Pretender concept. Except for again, you never saw them transform into their monster modes. So when they popped out of their shell, they just kind of glowed. The shell glowed, and they just ejected out the back, almost like a, I don't know, like a toaster coming out the top there, for lack of a better term. All right. And so then they just transformed into the robot mode and went on from there. So what we need is the shells empty, and we need the giant robot part. The actual handguns can stay on the shell. So we need all that.
So
little
here's
stuff.
the parts.
Yeah. So boom, boom, boom. And we kind of need to keep them with the people they belong with, because that'll make it easier for us in the long run. Okay. This goes with this. Let's see. I need this guy too. Okay. All right, we'll just kind of set these aside for now, because it's kind of, this one, the peg broke off. Oops.
When?
I don't know. Probably right now.
That's why Dave can't have nice
This
things.
is why we can't have a nice thing. And I'm sure it probably was like that for a little while. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've had these.
Is that a robot part?
That's a mini gun for one of the side pieces.
Okay. One of your side pieces.
All right.
What?
So I'll help you do the leg parts here real quick, right? So for that,
All
for
right.
each of these guys, since they basically transform the same, you'll do the same thing I do, okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna flip that part up, the
Yeah.
legs up.
Yeah.
We're gonna take both the arms and fold them straight back, like this, like at the shoulders, exactly, okay? And now they're gonna go upside down. See these two pegs here on the back of each one of them?
Yeah.
They're gonna go into one of these foot pads.
Okay.
Boom. That's a leg. Leg, other way around. Flip it around. You plugged it in backwards is all. Nope. So, yeah, there you go. It kind of sock. It's the head part of the monster will kind of sock it into the little space there, right?
Boom.
So 2 legs, right?
Cool.
So these then
Legs.
go onto this piece.
Oh, okay.
So I'll do one. You can do the other. That's like the hips part there.
It's all in the
hips.
It's all in the hips.
Okay. For the waist, this guy here had the little beak thing. You just fold that down. He just plugs straight in.
All right, that's easy.
Oops.
Uh-oh. That's the foot I did. Figures.
There you go. It kind of snaps a little bit there.
Okay.
So as you can kind of begin to see here a little bit, I'll get him out.
Will not stay on.
It's just loose because he's going to be a short combiner.
Yeah, very short.
Okay, but we'll go ahead and stay up here. All right, for this guy, who's the chest, you fold that out this way. Now on the U.S. one, when we do Monstructor, I probably will do all this because almost all these guys have gold plastic.
Oh, yeah.
We've mentioned gold plastic syndrome before, right? So I kind of fold him out, fold his head up. These stay down because these little square things are going to be what attach the arms.
Gotcha.
And he just kind of, this head fits into that space.
Can I help you do a
And then we'll do the arms, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then you want to put the head on? That just fits on top of that guy's
I sure
head.
do.
Do that.
Ta-da!
Okay, for the arms, we basically already got him in arm mode. We just got to put a fist into the little space there. There's a little groove. Like, look at this guy. See that little space there? There's these little grooves on the other side of the fist. So it's going to go down here. Right there.
Oh.
Yeah, you got it just like that. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's green.
Yeah.
This guy's blue. We're going to keep them on the same side. So I'm going to put my guy who's blue on this side. You're going to put your guy who's green on that side. That just plugs in there.
Just like that?
Just like that. So tiny little guy. So then you're going to put the big gun in?
Okay.
For completion's sake?
Yay.
Okay.
Is he righty or lefty?
I typically, this is going to be very biased sounding, I typically have my Decepticons hold their things in their left hand.
Oh, because they're bad.
Well,
they're sinister.
Yeah, the word sinister originally meant left-handed, right? So I kind of just roll with that sometimes. So that's one way I kind of demonstrate the two. But I think, yeah, in reality, he holds the gun in whatever hand he wants to, type of thing. So this is Dino King. So as this coloration with these accessories, this was exclusive to Japan. America never saw this. The same robots and the same accoutrement in different colors, but with completely different pretender shells is what we got in America.
Okay.
We'll probably do that maybe in our next video just to show that. The reason I chose this for our video tonight, and this will be our last part before we go on to celebrate with some alcohol, is that recently Hasbro redid these guys. Oh. And they did it very sneakily. They originally put them out as the Dinobots.
But they're not. Okay.
But what was weird about it wasn't even I kicked myself for missing this. I finally read about it and I go, oh, that makes complete sense. When this Dinobot Combiner came out, the first time they did a Dinobot Combiner was like in 2016 when they had Volcanicus. For years, people were like, oh, the Dinobots should combine. They should combine. They should combine. And it never actually happened, right? The original toys didn't.
They did.
They finally did it in Power of the Primes toy line several years ago, where they did a combiner set of the Dinobots, and they formed a guy called Volcanicus. So they put out a new version of Volcanicus about a couple years ago with little bitty, much smaller robots. Turned into a little bitty kind of guy. It was kind of cool to see, oh, they've got a small combiner, because usually most combiners are kind of big.
Yeah.
So it was a smaller price point. Maybe kids with not enough money could afford to get this one. Sure. But what was weird about it was the original Volcanicus, Grimlock was the chest. Oh. Usually the leader is the chest and the head, right? Yeah. This one, Grimlock, was a foot. And I thought, that's weird, but whatever, right?
Right.
But people then quickly pointed out, and Dino King, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, was a foot. And so people were speculating, is it going to be Dino King? Is it going to be Dino King? It was! So they reissued it. In Dino King colors, the greens and blues and gold.
A little more dramatic.
All the guys are in the same spot. So like the Ankylosaurus is an arm. The Pteranodon is an arm. Okay. So these guys don't have pretender shells, but their transformation is what their pretender shell would have been. All right. So the guy who formed the arm here doesn't turn into Pteranodon, but in this one he does. So it's all the exact same layout and everything, and everyone saw it coming a mile away, and I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. And then I go, oh, I just should have seen it. And they came with a cool box. It was a very retro looking box for that one, like that. So that's why I chose this one, because Dino King just came out, and he actually had different parts. The original Dinobot Combiner didn't have all these foot pads and stuff. He was very like no frills. Yeah. And you had to buy them one at a time, whereas this came out as a box set. These guys you had to buy. These guys came in a box set. Or
but the American ones you had to buy one at a time.
The American ones, the Monstructor, you bought one at a time. Yeah. In Japan, I could be wrong about this one. No, they were sold both. You could buy them one at a time, or you could buy a gift set.
Have you ever figured out the math of how many toys these actually are?
As far as how many in one?
I mean, there's.
Well, you got the Pretender Shell, which is a toy,
4, 5,
and
6.
you've got the robot who then transforms into something. So
Pretender Shell inside.
So
Monster.
there's 6 guys. That's 12. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus the Pretender Shell,
you get
18, and then the combined form is 19. So it's really 19 toys in one. All right. So that is Dino King from Japan in I think 1988. Little bitty tiny guy, and again in America we called him Monstructor, and he had a totally different color scheme and different transformation scheme, etc., etc., etc. We'll do that next time. So if you're a collector and you've missed the reissue, the reimagining of Dino King, he's got better weapons like the cartoon. He's got the big axe and the multi-part gun there. Go out and get the Dino King reissue because it was pretty cool to finally see it like that. So how we celebrate? What's our beer?
Well, tonight.
Should I go get it?
Why don't you go ahead and get it, Dave? Tonight we're going to do a beer that's for... You work so hard, so we're going to do a beer for the workers.
Ooh.
Okay?
Like communism?
Well...
Communism is a red herring.
The brewery, yeah. Absolutely. The brewery we're going to talk about is Haymarket Brewing. And their slogan is, everyone's a worker. Which means everyone deserves a great beer. Haymarket Brewing was founded in 2010. Its first location was in Chicago, in the location of the Haymarket Affair of 1886. That included a demonstration, a riot, and a bombing, but it led directly to the creation of the 8-hour workday.
Woohoo!
And annual May Day celebrations that are held around the globe.
Oh, cool.
They have since also made a location, a brew pub location in Michigan. So they have 2.
Okay.
So we went to the one that's in Chicago. If you go to their website, you can find out all about the kinds of beers that they have on tap. But they also have canned beers to go. You can also get growlers. They have lots of great food at both locations as well. And they also had one of the most fun flight holders I've ever seen.
Oh,
so.
I can't remember what it looked like. Do you remember?
Well, yeah, there's a picture of it right here.
Okay. Well,
it was kind of...
it was in the shape of probably the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So I enjoyed that. But the day we went, we sat out. I'm sorry, what?
I'll put that on the screen.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, that's a screen, Dave.
Otherwise, it's like radio, right? We're talking about the stuff. There's no image of it. I'll put a picture of what the flight board looked like.
Yeah, it's cool. But the day we went, we sat outdoors. There's lots of seating inside, lots of seating outdoors, right on the street. It's a wonderful part of Chicago.
Late September.
It was beautiful.
Oktoberfest were going on all over the place.
Yes, absolutely.
We just stopped in for a quick drink. We went up to Chicago for a day trip to visit my brother who lives near the city. They met us in the city. We went to 2 different places, and this is the second place.
Absolutely, and they've got all kinds of beers on their website. I would say, ask what's on tap, because they don't always have the same beers on tap. I don't remember all the beers we tried one day. I know you had one that had a lot of honey in it. I had the blood orange blonde ale for sure.
I think I just had the one too because we had been drinking for a while before that. You got a flight. I just had one.
I did get a flight.
We just sat there and talked for 20 minutes. We didn't take as many pictures this time, so I'm going to have mostly pictures that I get off the web about this place today.
Mostly because we were visiting with
family.
Our Dave's brother and his wife, and our daughter was with us, and we were having a great time. So after a fun day at the Museum of Science and Industry. So we enjoyed it. I remember the beer was very good, but the beer that we took home, we had to get it because you know how I love beers that are like plays on the old timey beer can that you could get that was like plain white.
Like generic beer.
Yeah. So this one is Chicago Tavern beer.
It's just basically a white label. It's maybe hard to tell. We'll put a picture of it on the screen, but it's got a couple blue stripes. But it's a
lager.
It's got the 4 Chicago stars on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just it's a basic lager beer. Go ahead.
But they got pale ales. They got blonde wheat. I'm just looking at the different selections they have of beers. I'm trying to, and now my computer is being weird.
But it's kind of light.
Sours.
Kind of light in color. Yeah, it's a typical brew pub. They've got a wide variety of different flavors and styles and stuff.
Yeah, they do have seltzers. They have one Belgian.
Their slogan on the side of the can says "Making great beer for great beer drinkers."
Well, I think I don't know if I'd qualify as a great beer drinker, but sometimes I'm pretty good at it. So let's smell it.
I've not had this one yet.
It smells a little lemony.
We had to kind of be careful what we picked because we were
Nice.
traveling by train, and Amtrak lets you have stuff like on the train as long as you keep it
Oh, that's sweet.
in your room. But we didn't have a room; we were traveling coach.
That's a nice little. I mean, this is a beer you drink when you're watching football. Okay, when you're watching the Bears, on a Sunday afternoon. Not really an aftertaste. It's very light. It's almost
It's got a light skunk to it.
Yeah.
So it's got a little bit of a German quality to it. You know what I'm
Very
talking about.
very slight.
Yeah.
It really reminds me a lot of like a natural light, to be honest with
really?
you. Yeah, it's very easy drinking.
I think this is heavier than that, though. It's got more flavor.
It definitely is.
Light
It's
beer.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more color.
Yeah.
Had
More
great
gold.
head.
More.
Very crisp.
Yeah.
I really like it. This is a lot of fun.
Very drinkable.
So.
But they had many 6-packs to choose from, and we can only pick one. I thought, let's just get something basic that would be easily fit in a backpack for the trip home, and that's what we picked. So
the beer's good.
And something that we didn't get to have while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
That was also key, because again, a lot of flight, I had one, and my brother is.
And the one I remember is that blood orange wheat. That was fabulous. So
cool.
Yeah.
So good beer. We made a good choice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So we worked hard. We had our working beer for hard workers from Haymarket Brewery.
Haymarket is one of those names because of the history of it. I remember as a child going to Chicago with my parents for like a convention.
Yeah.
And we stayed at the Hilton on Michigan Avenue, and they had a restaurant in the Hilton at the time called the Haymarket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything to do with this place, but maybe it does. If you know, let me know. But I think it's just one of those names that just has Chicago history, so it gets used again and again here and there as it becomes available. So probably was nothing else was called the Haymarket, so these guys swooped in and grabbed it. Or because it was in the location of the Haymarket, as you said. I don't know. I just remember very distinctly we went and ate in their hotel restaurant, and it was called the Haymarket, too, at the same time.
Interesting.
I've never been in that Hilton since I was a child, so maybe is that restaurant still there? Are there two places called the Haymarket? Let me know if you're from Chicago. We'll find out.
Well, just like a lot of things about Chicago, there's so much history that you get to interact with when you're there. So if you have a chance, stop by Haymarket Brewery when you are in Chicago, in the city proper. Don't miss it. I highly recommend it.
All right. So that brings us to a close here. So as we are fond of saying here all the time, remember, if you want to know anything about any Transformer, let us know. Something we haven't done yet. You'd like to see something we haven't done, please drop us a line.
And yeah, absolutely. If there's a beer or a spirit that you'd like us to try, please put it in the comments below. We're always
if it's
open
something
to
we
ideas.
can't get to easily, maybe we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We'll keep a running list of next time we're out, blah blah blah, we'll pick this up.
Yeah.
So smash all those buttons, tell everybody about us. If you'd like to know more about this particular Transformer, Dino King, Chris McFeely on here on YouTube has a great series called The Basics On. There's one about Dino King, so look up Dino King on that. Also, you can go to the Transformers Wiki, tfwiki.net, which is where I get most of my images for these videos. A great source of information about all things Transformers.
Hey, I just noticed something on this real quick. It says brewed in collaboration with at Chicago Bars. So this is a collab. I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure
You should
at
look
Chicago
that up
Bars,
too.
you can
Yeah.
look that up,
But it is very refreshing.
So to sum up, remember, always play responsibly and drink responsibly.
That's right.
Responsibly. And
Not like Dave.
this beer's strong now. Just got a little tongue tied there. But thanks for watching. Hear us here on BeerFormers.
More than meets the ride.
Cheers.